and a 1 and a 2 and a. All right, the YouTube stream is up. I don't know if it deleted those other two, but here we go. And I'm gonna start it all over, just like y'all ain't been here. I don't care. Structure is structure. Rules are rules. The way is the way. It's the life and the truth in the way. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. Okay. No. I'm going to redo the whole thing. Everything. I'm starting it all over. I'm starting it all over. We're going to do the song over, everything. Like y'all haven't been here. I don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? It got to go the way it go. As a matter of fact, though. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to burn that. Yipper. So we won't have no messed up. We won't have no messed up streams. All right. We'll do it like this. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And yep, that'll shake off. So like now on Instagram, it's like it never started too. Yeah, everything is brand new. Sorry about the delay, but sometimes it go that way. I don't know what to really do about it or say, but hey, we're here now, and I'm so glad, and I'm glad that y'all still came through. I would be mad if I had to delay the show for another day, especially when yesterday we didn't get put on that way. But I'm here, and so are you, and you know what we about to do. We're going to start this music urban therapy with Son. You know I'm 752, not 751. I could have named myself that, but I didn't do it. And it's like that. All right. Let's go, baby. Urban therapy with Son, and we here right now, y'all. And let's break it down. So today we're talking about lighting the fire up under them. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but it couldn't go our way. Had to get the refrigerator fixed, and I had to do that because I can't miss a chance to get something right, repair it, and get the things done for the night. T. Carry right. Good to have it, people in your sight. Thanks for coming on through. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for coming on by. Thanks for waiting. Emily Dunlap is on the Instagram side. Oh, she's back now. All right, what's up, man? So today we're talking about lighting the fire under. Now, we didn't really get a chance to get into it yesterday, but we're going to get into it today. So, sorry for the delay on the YouTube side. I don't know what was going on. I have nothing. I ain't gonna front. I have nothing because they make you choose whether you want to have the show for kids or whether you want to have it for adults. If you have it for adults, then you get a chat room. When you choose for kids, where it's totally public, you know what I mean? They take away your chat room. I guess you can't be chatting with minors. I don't know what to say, but my material don't go that way. Kids shouldn't be listening to it like this. I could talk to kids, but not like this. So we talking about lighting a fire under them. So you might be in a situation where you have let something go with something long enough, and it's time to pull the reins back on them. It's time to get it right right and exact, because people sometimes don't know how to act, and you gotta bring it back now, and it's going to be cool, and you gotta make sure that they don't cut the fool, because sometimes people will play you. Sometimes if you get a job for somebody on a job where you have an authoritative position, or you own the business, and some people who you have done a favor for don't think that they have to work, or maybe they started out working very well, but then after a while, they just sort of fell back, rested on their laurels, and figured, I ain't really got to do nothing. I'm down. Yo, your boss is my man. So you might have to do something to light a fire up under them. You might have to do something to let them know that it ain't sweet like that. I mean, like, I understand and I'm down with you, but listen, this is what we going to do. And this is what we not going to do. You're not going to have me messed up, cancer in my crew. So I'm going to have to give you this warning, or get this paperwork popping, or I might even have to lay you off or suspend you for a couple. Whatever the case may be, I'm not going to have you messing up the money. And the truth is, sometimes putting your friends and family on to something that you do can mess up the money for you. So you might have to light a fire under them. When somebody is not living up to their full potential, and you know that they can do better than what they have been doing, then you might have to light a fire under them. You might have to do something to let them know that it's not sweet like that. No. I need you to do better. I need you to step up to the plate. I need you to be the one. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 11 o'clock a.m. to around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. And this is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into this thing. Into our own personality, to see how the universe projects us into this thing called life, and how must we live it. Well, we gonna see all about it, talk about it, be about it. We gonna get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right here, we gonna solve. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the. Well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Urban Therapy with Sun show, and I'm so glad to be here with y'all. Yeah, no, we play in the sandbox and on the monkey bars and on the merry-go-round, push each other up the sliding board, push each other on the swings, and we just have a good old time. We have a ball now, just me and all the gang, learning from each other how we do our thing. Nah, gonna have a good yo. What's up, Rita Reds? Rita, what's up, Rita? Good to see me, some you. Thanks for coming on through. So we're talking about lighting a fire up under them. Lighting a fire up under them. Have you ever had to light a fire under somebody? Was somebody ever taking advantage of you? You know what I mean? Not playing their part, not playing their role, not playing their position, not doing what they were supposed to, slacking off, being a ne'er-do-well, acting flighty, not being on their job, breaking their concentration, or keeping you from being the best that you could be when you ask them to help you. Lighting a fire under them. And I think that I think that it's safe to say that we probably all need a fire lit up under us at some point in our lives. We can't always be on 100% all the time, like it ain't nothing, like it ain't gonna be nothing. Sometimes it's just not sweet like that. Sometimes we have things going on in our lives that take away or break our concentration from us being the best that we can be in the situations that we put ourselves into or that we are put into. Sometimes we get a little tired. Sometimes we get a little overworked. Sometimes we have a little bit too much pressure on us. Sometimes we are distracted by things. And you can be distracted by a whole lot of things, good and bad and good, I should say. Because a lot of times when we're distracted, a lot of times when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, It's because we're distracted by something that we ain't got no business being distracted by, like drugs, weed, alcohol, drugs, weed, and alcohol. Drugs, weed, and alcohol. Drugs, weed, and drugs, weed, and alcohol. You know, it's funny when we talk about drugs, weed, and alcohol. It's funny how I separated drugs and weed from alcohol, because alcohol is definitely a drug. Most people say that weed is not a drug because you don't have to do anything to it in the way of process in order to ingest it. Well, is that 100% true? Because from what I see, first of all, you have to plant the weed. You take the seed and you plant the weed and the plant grows. Then you have to uproot the plant and dry it out. It has to be dried out. You can try to smoke the bud wet, and it actually may make the weed last longer. But in today's weed, where you have edibles and you have CBD oil and all of that kind of stuff, all of that stuff is a process. So what separates it from being a drug? Opium. Opium comes from a plant, and you can smoke it right off the vine, just like weed. But when you process it into making it morphine or heroin, well, morphine is the legal part of it. Heroin is the street drug. Same components though, except on the street there may be a little bit more cut on it. A little bit more cut. It's a pain reliever. So alcohol definitely has a process. There is no alcohol just outstanding. You have to do put alcohol in a distillery, and there's a whole lot of things that you have to do to make a drink, to get that drink fermenting and all that kind of, it ain't sweet like that. So why don't we call alcohol drugs? Why? Because it's legal. Anyway, lighting the fire under your ass, lighting the fire up under them. When was the last time you had to do it to somebody? When was the last time it was done for you, done to you? Like I said, we all get to that point in our lives somewhere where we have to light a fire under someone, or someone has to light a fire under us. Somebody might be messing up your money. Have you ever been involved in a family business where your family members are acting lazy, unmotivated, prima donna type, acting entitled? Oh, I ain't gotta work. My dad owned this. I ain't gotta work. My uncle owned this. I ain't gotta work. My brother got this. I'm making sure that y'all work. Yeah, that's my job. I'm making sure that y'all work. Straight bullshit. Like, he's supposed to be working that cash register just like you. They supposed to be pulling them stocking those shelves just like you. They're supposed to be unloading that inventory or counting that inventory just like you. So why are they getting out of it? Because they need a fire lit up under them. They are taking hour lunches when their lunch is only a half an hour. So they may be taking an hour, they may be taking an hour and a half, and they may not even be clocking out for lunch. Like, how is it that you have 8.5 hours on the day? Because I worked half an hour OT. No, what you didn't do was clock out for lunch. You didn't clock out. You didn't clock out. Now, plenty of jobs have, there are plenty of jobs where you don't have to clock out for lunch, but you can best believe somebody is going to be watching you. And as soon as you start abusing that, what happens? Somebody catches you when you ain't got no business being at your break time. Oh yeah, we was up in the mall during break time. You did that in a half an hour. You chose to take your half an hour break to go all the way to the mall. And when I saw you, you was in a line. You was in the line at Chick-fil-A. You know what that line is about. Ain't no way you getting back to work in a half an hour if you waiting in a line in Chick-fil-A. A Chick-fil-A line on the inside is almost a half an hour. So you know how it is. Some people don't start counting it being their lunch break until they are wherever they want to be. Like, my lunch didn't start when I stopped working. It started when I got to where I'm about to eat. It started after my food got ready. So you don't count in no microwave time, no standing in line time. Like, the break is only when the food goes from my hand to my mouth. Yeah, you're gonna find out from somebody sooner or later that you probably need a fire lit up under you because you're not following the rules. And it's all good when everybody else is doing it. It's all good as long as you don't abuse those privileges and start causing unnecessary attention to yourself. It's all good until you get on somebody else's ass about the same shit that you've been doing. That's hot. So you might need a fire lit up under you. You need that fire lit up under you. Like I said, we all get there. It's the place to be. Everybody makes this mistake somewhere along in their career or in their lives. But this is not just a career thing. I'm not just talking about a situation where you may just need a fire lit up under you at work. At work is one of those places where there can be dire consequences for not being on your job, not handling your business correctly, for not following the rules. There's a monetary payment. There's a monetary consequence that comes along when you don't do your job the way that you're supposed to do. Y'all know what it is. Please make sure y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. It is the Urban Therapy with Son show. I'm your host, Son752, and we're talking about lighting a fire up under them. The continuation. We continue. We moving on. We moving on. Move. But yeah. So it's one of those things. In other areas of your life, you may need to have a fire lit up under them. How many parents have had to have lit a fire up under their children? Messing up in school, cutting class, not studying correctly, not performing well on exams, tests. You gotta see on all your tests where you used to get A's. On your tests. You messing up on your tests. On your testes. No, the tests. No, your tests. Carol Chamberlain, me favorita. It's good to see me some you, ma. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. But there are plenty of times where you might have to light a fire up under a child. And there are different ways that you can do it. You may light a fire up under them by encouraging them, showing them what they've been doing before, what they were doing before, and what they're doing now, and how they better get it together before you really start to get on them. And that's something like a threat. And threats work. Threats work for some people for a while, because all a threat is really is intimidation. A threat is intimidation. And that intimidation might be all right. It might be the thing that propels the person that you're lighting a fire under to get it together. If they're a very competitive person, for example, then you just bring it to their attention that they're not pulling their own weight and that they're not looking good around everybody else. That might be enough, because some people are so competitive and such a team-oriented person where they like, nah, I ain't gonna have everybody looking at me like I'm the weak link. I'm used to being the anchor man in this tug of war. You ain't gonna put me up in the front. Speaking of which, when was the last time y'all played tug of war? You know, tug of war is a really fun game. It really is. But when you play tug of war out there in the park, you know what you want to do? You want to make sure that you don't wear your good sneakers. Don't wear your good tennis shoes when you playing a tug of war, because you got to get them feet dug in there, because it's going to test all of your legs are mad important when it comes to tug of war. People think that it's all upper body strength. It's not. You got your legs got to be right. So if you're the type of person that skips leg day, it's going to be a long day for you in a game of tug of war, because if you can get your feet planted good and you have some good weight on you, you know, just pulling the rope is not that big of a problem. But you're not going to win if you don't get planted. If you don't get planted in a really, really good, deep way. So, yeah. You know, they lifting these COVID restrictions, right? So we can plan an event this year. Yeah. We can go out in the park and get right. For all my vaccinated people, I know y'all ain't scared. You know, we can go out in the park, get some games popping. You know, maybe we should do that. We talk about, you know, going on a hike and all of that. Maybe we should do some other things that can take us back to our youth. Some good picnic games. And for people who are offended by the word picnic, I apologize, because there are many people who say that the word picnic is the root word of the word pickaninny. So it's supposed to be a derogatory term involving Black people. So, you know, we say cookout, barbecue. But even if we didn't cook, we could still go out there and have some fun, you know, some games. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we could do the tug of war thing. We could do the potato sack race. We could do the potato sack race. We could do the spoon in the egg, the spoon in the egg thing, where you gotta race, but keep the spoon on the egg. I mean the egg on the spoon. You know, don't slip, baby. Don't slip, baby. We could do it. Some other, if y'all know any other cookout games that we could do, we could do this. Because that would be a way for us to get some exercise and also have some fun. You know what I'm saying? That would be a way for us to get some exercise and also have some fun. And I believe in exercise being fun. You know, potato sack race is fun, but y'all gonna be fucked up afterwards. Y'all think it's sweet like that. All right, y'all saying let's do it? Okay. All right. We need to start looking at like maybe sometime after the 4th. Sometime after the 4th. You know what I'm saying? But definitely this summer. Potato sack race, spoon joint. We could do the where y'all tie both of y'all ankles together, like your left ankle and their right ankle, and y'all gotta race that way. So y'all have to sort of be in unison, or y'all gonna topple over and all that. We can have some fun with it. Let's do that. Before I dig all up in y'all, have y'all walking for 8 to 9 miles and climbing stairwells, getting y'all all. Let me get y'all in shape with some fun first before I beat y'all down like the slaves that your ancestors were. Light a fire under you. And in sports, I was just talking about kids, and I'm gonna continue talking about that. But in sports, you know, when you on a sports team playing against other teammates and things like that, you got to be on your game. And sometimes your teammates may have to light a fire up under you. Like, yo, come on, man. You're not playing no defense. You're not making no shots. You're not running. Like, what's up with your cardio? Was you partying all night? Like maybe Allen Iverson could do that most of his career. Maybe Charles Barkley could do that most of his career. Evidently, you can't. You full of mush. You mush after a night of tying one on. TK right laughing at when I said slaves. You know, no, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I start whipping on y'all slaves. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Have some fun first. Man, I can't wait to get into a potato sack. Hop, 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 hop. I might have only participated in a potato sack race maybe 3 times in my life. And I might be going too far with that, but I liked it. I was itchy as hell, though. You know, potato sack, you be itchy. You be itchy. I see that we have a call on the line. That's what's up. We're going to go to the call in a minute. I hope it's a slave. Just saying. Okay. But yeah, you sometimes have to light a fire under the ass of children. There are plenty of times when you have to do it. I mean, the shit is rad. This shit is rad. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you dealing with children. Children don't automatically becomes fortified or saturated with feelings of entitlement. They feel feelings of entitlement by constantly getting what they want without having to do anything in order to get it. There are plenty of times when that happens. So we all have to take some type of accountability when we are lighting a fire under people. We also have to temper that with justice, with mercy, with compassion, and with understanding. And doing those things can often wield us more positive results. You know what I mean? So y'all have to be, you got to understand where we're coming from when we talk about lighting the fire under it. As we get ready to take the caller, I would like to let y'all know that if y'all would like to call into the show, the number is, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. You can call in and handle your biz. That's 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby, 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 Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Thanks for coming on through. And Maciel Torres, thanks for you coming through. Appreciate it, too. Maciel Torres. Okay. So call up with the last numbers 4828. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Appreciate you calling in and I appreciate you holding. What's on your mind this morning?
I can't stay on the phone that long, but I figured I'd call in before Master catch me.
Well, I suggest that you get to talking before Master come through, because although Master's a kind master, he ain't a stupid master, and he ain't going to let you go too far. So I suggest you get to speaking and say what's on your mind.
Okay.
Come on, Kizzy.
Okay, so just talking about lighting a fire. For myself, what lights a fire under me is fear of failure. That's just me personally. I don't know how many people can relate to that, but fear of failure definitely lights a fire up under me. Um, it's not just procrastination. Some people work best under stressful and strenuous circumstances as far as like procrastinating, waiting to the last minute.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to fail at something or whatever it is I put my mind to. So that's what lights a fire to me. Then for my children, I know that they share that. They always have. I always tell people that my children are very competitive. And I add incentives for them, monetary incentives. When they were little, it was, something like a fruit cup, or the ability to help me cook, like a service related incentive. They were very proud of that. But as they got older, I started to put some money on it. So I give incentives for grades and monetary incentives for grades and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. I never really looked at it that way. So the positive reinforcement and the financial or whatever incentive is a form of lighting a fire under somebody. I never really thought about it like that. But I probably never really thought about it like that because I never looked at it like them falling down on whatever job or whatever they were doing. I never looked at it that way with children. I always I'm sorry, I never looked at rewarding success or excellence as a way of acknowledging that they were falling down. That's what I meant to say. I never really looked at it that way, but I guess if we're talking about lighting a fire under someone, we're really talking about motivating, aren't we? I wasn't really looking at it that way either. I wasn't thinking about it that way. That's a good look.
And let me tell you how I came up with that. I have a few kids, so I realized that me saying, "Hey, like, what are you doing? You're not doing what you're supposed to," was for certain. For one or two of my kids was kind of getting them down. So I said, okay, well, how do I get them back on track without making them feel like I'm, beating up on them, mentally. So it was like, okay, I have to try something different. And so rather than fussing about the house not being clean, I put money on certain chores. Now my whole my whole house was fighting over which chores to do. Because doing the laundry, that was $10 right there. You do a load of laundry. Yeah. So
just one load.
I did the same thing with the grades. No, it was a cycle. So like.
Okay, I'm about to say
one cycle of laundry might one cycle of laundry might be 2 or 3 loads.
Somebody might throw like 3 washcloths and be like, yo.
Yeah.
You'll come up that 10 bones.
I wasn't having that. Nah, I mean at the time I had that washing machine that had just come out that washes 16 pair of jeans. So I wasn't trying to hear a half a load with my $10. No. Yeah, but
by the way, let me ask you this:
the monetary incentive. Mm-hmm.
Do you call them washcloths or wash rags?
I've called them both.
Interesting.
I can't even tell you which one I use more. When I use wash rags, it's usually after having spoken to my mother. or my grandmother, because they say wash rags. Okay. They'll call everything a rag.
Okay.
Go get a rag and wash up. Go get a rag and clean the table. Well, I'm using the same. What's happening right now? So, but if I'm not talking to one of my parents, then I usually say washcloths.
Okay. This is all I know. If I didn't have a stopper for the tub, I'm definitely not stopping up my my tub with a washcloth, but I would do it with a wash rag.
Uh-huh. I was just about to ask you which one you use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself to spend too much money on bathroom stuff to call it a rag. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is premium shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, these are washcloths. Ain't no rags in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But in that tub right there.
Right. Let me. Can I ask what lights a fire under you?
Oh, sometimes I just get lazy. Sometimes I get lazy.
No, but what? But what lights a fire?
Sometimes it's a threat. Sometimes it's an indirect threat. Like sometimes, and I've noticed it. Like if I think, like at work, for example, I noticed like certain times on certain jobs when I might have been slacking or whatever. You know how sometimes at work you get into a certain routine, like like, all right, I'm do this first, I do this second, and blah blah blah. This is a bunch of skate time right here. I can skate, blah blah blah. So sometimes somebody may catch you on your skate time, or you may have gotten word that such and such has been, you caught the attention of somebody that don't like what you're doing. It's like, okay, all right, yeah. They didn't have to confront me to light that fire under my ass. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, where it may have taken you on a regular day, unmonitored, it may have taken you a full 7.5 hours to complete certain tasks. You'll notice like, yeah, I got this all done in 3. It's like, now you got to make a decision though. Do I do the 3 or 4 and then look for more work? And am I going to do that consistently? More than likely, you're going to wait. You're going to do it. You're going to do what you need to do until the heat is off. You know what I'm saying? And then, you revert back to, your comfort zone. But that's not a good thing. So, yeah, the threat of, reproach sometimes lights a fire under me. Or when I want something, if I want something, I may want something independent of what I'm doing. Like, here's a funny thing. Even on jobs where where there was overtime available, I never liked to work a bunch of overtime. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have to find another way to get this money. But it ain't here. You know what I'm saying? And that might be a testament to me not really loving the jobs that I've been on. But my motivation for getting more money was never to work more hours in the place where I work. And that might be weird because I know people who live off of overtime. Like when they don't get overtime, they like, yo, this is not a check.
Plenty of people.
But not me.
Yeah, I'm not working not a 1 minute over.
Right. I was strictly an 8-hour type. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, if I want something, or if I really see the benefit in something else, it'll light a fire under me. Like, even if it's for other people, like, for example, if I know that, like a person that's really close to me needs something and they're in trouble, or they're in really dire need of something, that often lights a fire under me. Like, all right, let me see what I can do to make this happen. And that's whether I need to make calls, or whether I need to provide a service, or whether I need to go get something, whatever the case may be. Like, I don't like to see people suffer. I don't like to see people hurt or in pain or whatever. So that it normally lights a fire under me if I can be responsible for helping to relieve the pain, or help you out that way. So money is a motivating factor for me, but it's evidently not motivation enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not really wired as a capitalist. like I just don't have. That's just not me. Like I love to have a bunch of money and whatever, but I'm not the. It's not like my like money is always on my mind or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more motivated by things that will bring me peace, serenity, or give me an opportunity to see life or physically see the world in a way that I didn't do before. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably more motivated by things that will give me a spiritual awakening than things that will allow me to get a new motorcycle this summer. Not that I was considering that, but you know, I mean, I ain't gonna front. I halfway considered it. Like, dude, you gonna wait till you're 50 years old to get a motorcycle? Like, so you've avoided killing yourself this long? Now you want to do it? I'm like, I'm looking at these 3-wheel motorcycles. I'm like, that's not even really a motorcycle. Y'all respect this? That's not a real motorcycle. How can a motorcycle have 3 wheels? And it's big. It takes up as much space as a car. And the 2 wheels are out in front. Ain't that a car? You know what I mean? I don't know. I ain't getting one though. I ain't getting one. But I would like to have one without actually having to take up a parking space or having to store it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could
right.
If I could rent to own one, sort of like, all right, so I can drive to my motorcycle. Y'all gonna store it here for how much? How much I got to pay? Store it here because I ain't parking this shit on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, then like, I ain't trying to go broke on that. Speaking of which, if you know anything about it, how do like people who own motorcycles, like, do they always have them at the crib or what? Like, what they do? They buy a cover for them shits?
No, the ones that I know, just park it right out in the driveways. If they have a garage, they put it in the garage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a cover for it. I'm like, what's that cover going to do? But
keep it from rusting out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Anyway, now, funny thing is, like when it comes to exercising and stuff like that, I don't normally need a lot of motivation for that because I like to feel healthy. So that doesn't normally take a lot. Whereas a lot of people really struggle with that. Like, I just can't. I'll be going for a while and blah, 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 which is odd because people see the results of when they work out and they still find ways to stop doing it. It's the weirdest thing. Like if something was making you a bunch of money, you wouldn't stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to your health, it's like you'll be on that regimen for a while. Like, all right, yeah, I do this. This is leg day. This is shoulder day. This is back day. This is stomach day. All that old shit. Next thing you know, it ain't no day for no day. It ain't no leg day. The leg day is when I walk to the car, get in it, and I be exercising my right foot. You know, gas pedal, brake, gas, brake. You know. Okay, listen. Why have you on the line? You know, I wrote a poem yesterday. I was motivated. I was mad motivated. I was motivated to write this poem.
You had a fire under you?
Huh?
I said you had a fire under you?
I did.
Somebody lit a fire?
I did. It lit a fire under me, and I was going to do this poem yesterday when I wrote it. I wrote it yesterday morning. I was motivated. What did motivate me to do it? Oh, somebody tagged me on a post, and they said they could see me saying this, and it says something like, sometimes I speak with high intelligence. Sometimes I speak ghetto as hell. But anytime I speak, you know what the fuck I'm saying, or something like that. Anyway, so I was like, wait a minute. They didn't tag nobody else in the post. They only tagged me. So I was like, wait a minute. This sounds to me like an ode to a nigga. So I came up with this poem, and it's called An Ode to a Nigga. So I want to share it with y'all right now, since we're here, and then we're going to move on. But I was motivated to write this poem, and it's going down right now. And y'all going to dig it through because it's real. Okay. Oh, it's real. Okay. What the hell? Anyway, what's this? Wait a minute. Why does it let me draw on it? I don't want to draw. No, wait a minute. I got to erase all this shit. Erase. Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
Okay. No, why is it still drawing? Why? I don't want to draw. Okay. Nope. Okay. Why is it locked? Oh my God, what the fuck? That's... What I'm gonna do is okay. But it won't let me read it this way. So this is not going to work. I don't know why things want to give me a problem today. Why?
Just take your time.
I don't like what's happening. This sucks. Okay, there we go. Sheesh. Okay. All right. Okay, we're ready now. Okay. An ode to a nigga. All right. Get right here. Okay. Nigga, you ill. Nigga, you real. Nigga, when you speak, it's hard to understand. Nigga, you ain't bought in stores. You a different brand. Nigga. Nigga, you full of shit, they say, but nigga, they just don't understand your ways. Nigga, you familiar, but you ain't the same. Nigga, sometimes nigga replaces your name. Nigga, you gotta get yourself a job. Because nigga, they think all you do is lie, cheat, and rob. Nigga, you was born to die, but before that, you gonna get money, fuck hoes, and dress fly. Nigga, your fate is not yet sealed. But nigga, nah, hold up, wait. Chill. Nigga, you just came home, but as soon as you get off house arrest, nigga, it's on. Nigga, You got a lot of kids, but you ain't a bad dad. You just lack self-control. But nigga, a bad choice is as bad as the wrong hole. Nigga, you got a lot of friends, but nigga, the means don't always justify the ends. Nigga, you might live longer than people think, but your day gonna come and you gonna win, nigga. Because regardless of what they think, nigga, you ain't dumb. Nigga, you too old to wear your pants hanging down. And that kind of shit is gonna up your child support, nigga. But nigga, the way you dress don't always tell the story of what you know. Fuck they thought. Nigga, you's a son, a dad, and a man. But nigga, you's more than that. You can be whatever you choose to be, nigga. Just know that if you're a nigga, you chose to be that nigga. Nigga. Thank you. That's it. An ode to a nigga. An ode to a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on Boom Styles. Thanks for coming on through. Appreciate it, y'all. Ode to a nigga, baby. Ode to a nigga. If y'all need me to send y'all this, just let me know. I can copy and paste and put it in your inboxes. Because I know y'all want to, y'all probably need to this to light a fire up under y'all, especially all you niggas out there. You know what I mean? So just let me know that if y'all need me to put y'all on, because I'll gladly do it. Yes, I will. All right. Lighting the fire up under them. Lighting the fire up under them. It's funny when I'm doing that poem, an ode to a nigga. It's funny because when you start talking that nigga and that nigga shit, whatever, and that's regardless of whether you are offended by the word, you choose to use the word, or whether or not you choose not to. You know that there's some things that we do on a daily basis where we could be considered not to be motivated or not to be contributing as much as we probably need to in some area of our lives. For example, when it comes to parenting, a lot of times parents are not performing up to their best ability, and they know that as a parent, everything that your children learn in their developmental years is coming from you. So if you're not on your job, if you're not motivated to teach, to train, to motivate, to inspire, where are they going to get it? Where can we reasonably expect our children to get what they need? So all of these dads out there, I'm gonna get with the women, the mothers in a minute. But these dads out there, a lot of times they're not there. And there are fathers who start out well. The baby's just born, newborn. He coming to get the child all the time, whatever. I've known men that went all the way up until the child was about 2 or 3 years old, and then they start dropping off for whatever reasons. I don't know if it was just because they weren't getting along with the mother or whatever the case may be, but your children need you. Your children need you to be on all the time. And maybe they're on their version of you being on may be different than your version of yourself being on. But nonetheless, there may be times when you need a fire lit up under you, in the case where you may become involved with drugs, alcohol, excessive use, smoking too much weed. It all adds up to the same shit. Or you just may not be pulling your weight as a parent. Maybe you're letting the other parent do all of the work. So they're doing all of the motivating. They're doing all the inspiring. They're checking all the homework. They're going on all the field trips. They're providing all of the money. Or maybe you are providing the money, but you ain't providing nothing else. You're just a big check. And maybe not even all of that big, but you are contributing financially, but you may not be contributing to the life experience of your offspring. Now, what should be done? How do we handle parents that are falling down on their parental job? You have any suggestions?
Oh, how do we motivate parents who are falling down on their parental job?
Yeah.
How do we light a fire underneath them?
Right.
I mean, if your child being, maybe if their grades are falling, maybe their grades are not falling, but you notice a change in their behavior. If that's not, a fire enough, I don't know what will be.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know. Conversation, like communication, maybe another parent giving them a talk about how, like what could happen should they not address whatever's going on with their child. For some parents, that is a motivating factor to, like, hey, I have to do something about this because I don't want this to destroy or to, have a negative effect on my relationship with my child. Other parents, they're wrong and strong, so they don't really respond that way. And so I don't know what could be said or done, in situations like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for some parents, for some parents, the threat of losing their children is the thing that lights a fire under them. Whether the state is going to step in, Child Protective Services or whatever it's called in your state. Sometimes when I consider the situation to be pretty far gone when the state has to step in and intervene.
Yeah.
However, it happens. Yeah. Now, but there have been internal threats to light a fire under a parent's under a parent in order to get them to start acting right. I know many a grandmother that threatened to come in and say, I'm going to go get custody of my grandchild because you out there getting high, you following behind these niggas, these no good niggas, you know what I mean? No bum asses. You got men coming in and out of the house every 6 months. You got somebody new living with you. You getting high, you partying all the time, you hardly working or whatever. The kids can't count on you for nothing. Well, I'm as a grandmother, they be ready to step in and take the child. I know plenty of grandparents who have done it. And it hasn't always been just the grandmother. I know grandparents. Sometimes, and it's an interesting thing. Sometimes, how like sometimes Pop ain't the biological grandfather, but he in love with grandma, and they've been together since however long. They might be married, they might not be, but I bet you what they going to go take Junior, you know what I mean, or the little girl. They going to go get Junior and the baby girl. Like, yeah, we got him. And and for some parents, it lights a fire on them. Like, oh no, you ain't gonna be taking my kids away. Even more, unfortunately, sometimes the parents don't want the kids to be taken away from them because the kids are attached to that check. SSI, child support, alimony, you know what I mean? Things like that. There's actually a monetary value attached to the child, and they don't want to lose that. So their motivation, like, all right. The least I can do is keep you from finding out how bad I'm fucking up. So I'll do that. I'm gonna go to work every day this week. I'm gonna even come home before I hit the bar. That type of shit. It's different ways. There are different ways to light a fire under some people, and the circumstances can be less than favorable in certain situations. But Motivation is motivation, and lighting that fire under them is lighting that fire under them. And it may be temporary. They may do it long enough just to get the heat off of you. But I have seen me some mothers boo-hooing and crying about trying to get their kids back. I'm trying to get my kids back. You throwing it up in my face that they took my kids, blah, 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 blah. Or the neighbors need to mind their fucking business. They calling DHS on people. Like, if DHS don't find nothing, they don't fuck with your kids. You know what
I'm saying? Right.
They be cold. They be leaving that fact all the way out.
Right.
Like,
maybe even out the specifics, man.
Yeah. Like, if
you left that part out of the story.
Listen, if they successfully take your kids, like, they can take them for a night to put them under observation, ask them some questions, and make sure that they remove them from a potentially unsafe condition, right? Okay. After that night or whatever, they find out, like, wait a minute, there's nothing here. We had to remove the child because we, that's our responsibility to make sure that we respond to calls. But the child is happy in the home from what we understand. The motivation behind this call may have been from one of the other parents, another parent or somebody else who didn't like them. You know what I'm saying? They do an investigation. They find things out. If they find out that, where there's this smoke, there's mad fire. We had enough fire from this smoke to light it up under your ass, but we taking these kids. Foster home. They gonna be with Miss Mary for another 30 days.
How about when a parent would like to fire up underneath the parent is the fact that they don't want their friends and family to find out that everything's not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They want to project this image, so bad that they will only move into action when that's threatened, when that picturesque image is threatened.
Yeah. Yeah. Parenting is tough. Anybody who has children knows how tough it can be, and anybody who has children knows what an obligation it is, and how sometimes it's not as easy as just understanding and accepting your responsibility as a parent, because you have thoughts and feelings yourself. You were once a child, and regardless, depending on the circumstances that govern the way that you grew up, it can have a large effect on how you are as a parent yourself. And it's tough, but we all get to that point during our time as a parent where we probably need to light a fire up under us. You know what I'm saying? There are levels to it. Some levels higher than others, and just some circumstances different than others. There are cultural differences and cultural factors that go into this. But we know that you're not going to be 100% on in probably anything that you do. So somebody, hopefully, who has some type of interest in your behalf and some compassion and a way to communicate with you well, will come to you and light that fire in your ass. Not like DHS or the cops or whatever. Like, yo, you put your hands on her again, your ass ain't coming home tonight. And the state is going to press charges. It's hard to get away with punching your wife in the face right in front of the cops. Like, they going to take you away, and then the state is going to have to do something like, yo, this is not hearsay. He punched her in the face while we were standing there. It was like, what
the fuck? Wow.
I just want to see the court defense. I want to see the defense come one day for a man that beat up his wife or his girl or whatever, domestic violence. I want him to see him be like, yeah, Yeah, I punched her in the face, but they fucked me up way worse than what I did to her. So we should be even. Like, she was cool. I got stitches, black eye. They didn't even want to acknowledge that they did it to me. But she ain't hitting that hard, so it had to be them. But what I'll do is I'll drop the charges, you know, for police brutality. If y'all let me go home, I judge. Like, nah. You had a black eye, busted lip, and bruised ribs when you came in. Your girl was getting her Tina Turner on before we ever showed up. Oh man! All right, lighting the fire under them. Who lights a fire? Who lights a fire under the government? Politician. What's the one thing? Well, what are some of the things that light a fire under politicians?
Public perception. Public perception.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I was going to say the threat of not being reelected.
Well, that's still public perception.
Okay.
So, and that's one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things that when you hear somebody say, "Oh, you're such a politician," that means that you really care about how people perceive you, not just your policies. I mean, we would love to think that politicians is all about the policies, but it's not.
I never looked at it as like public perception, but I know on those election years, they be stepping up to the plate, talking about all of the bullshit that they've done in the past 4 years or so. And what they say, that the gas prices always go down during election year?
They sure, that's exactly what I was about to say. As soon as it's election time, I don't care if it's midterms or the regular primaries, the gas goes down. Look, they start throwing in the potholes again. Public perception. So they wanna say the things and do the things that are going to make you happy, but it's not the heavy hitting policies that they campaign on. It's just whatever's going to make us give us instant gratification.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, shout out to all those people out there spending thousands of dollars on them food stamps. Shit is real right now. Very, very real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh,
right now.
What do you mean?
Right now, if you're collecting food stamps, if you are participating in the SNAP program, they putting thousands of dollars on people's food stamp card right now. This shit is real as hell. People getting like and you are getting the food stamps for each child that you had. So it's like a G for each. I'm telling you, it's the food stamp stimulus. Motherfuckers about to be bougie up in that market this year.
Somebody selling food stamps, but no, that's crazy.
Shit is real. Crazy. Yeah. Now, one thing, the difference between food stamps and a PPP loan, you ain't got to pay no food stamps back. This just. But I'm telling you, there's so much food stamps going on right now. They are killing the game. It's serious.
That's actually good. It's been happening last year at the height of COVID, not just right now. It's just my opinion. People are starting to get their jobs back, and some stimulus of their lives. It really would have helped more during the last administration, but we can't go back in time and make that happen.
Yeah. There's so much food stamps right now that I'm thinking like somebody need to get in Biden's ear and be like, yo, man, with that many food stamps, ain't no way you can help but selling them. You gotta sell them. It's too much. You might have been getting like 150 or 200. Now you getting a straight stack. Shit is crazy.
No, they don't even have to sell them. All those people buying lobster tails, shrimp, and crab legs, they can go through that quick, fast, and in a hurry.
You might be
that fiscally. I just had a barbecue yesterday.
You may be a fiscally conservative food stamp recipient.
Yeah, right.
You might be a vegan food stamp recipient. In which case you'd be able to buy all the organic shit you want. Right now,
yep,
it's that real.
And vegan food is expensive.
Is that
vegan
bad?
Food is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
they can go right through that stack.
It's going down right now. But I wonder what lit a fire under him to make him do that. Like hey, he just want to give away some money.
I believe he mentioned that during his campaign.
Did he?
I believe he mentioned I believe he mentioned that. Trying to do that during his campaign, like, hey, we're going to try to make sure that everybody can eat, because a lot of people are like, hey, listen, we can't even feed our children. So he's like, all right, well, let's feed them.
He feeding the fuck out of them right now. Motherfuckers eating right now when they ain't hungry. He's just like, all right, yeah. All right, give me another shrimp. Go ahead. Colossal. Fuck it. Ain't no bad food in this whole refrigerator and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's enough to just go ahead.
I'm glad for it.
They're gonna empty out. They're gonna empty the whole Save-A-Lot.
There are a lot of Trumpers that I don't hear complaining as much as they were, since they've been getting the extra stimulus checks. Apparently now I know why they've been extra quiet, because they've been getting these food stamps.
Yeah, man. Listen. People ain't going. You might look a gift horse in the mouth, but you ain't gonna look no get food stamps in the mouth. I'm sorry. All right, well, hold on. We have another caller on the line. Caller with the last number 7244. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind this afternoon?
Hey, what's going on, family? How y'all doing?
You know, feeling like real men and women should. What's up with you?
That's what's going on. That's what's up. Everything is all well. It's kind of comical to hear you guys speak about how black folk that were trusting, and I'm going to say black folk because I'm black, so I'm speaking about my dynamic. And in my opinion, whether it be you got people that are supporting Trump or people that are supporting Biden, we as black folk, we are still in slavery. And sometimes people can say, hey, that could be argued. But I say if you feel like arguing, you can go and look at the documentary on PBS called Slavery by Another Name. And just speaking about, regardless whoever the slave master is that we shouldn't benefit from still being a slave. We shouldn't benefit from slave conditions that happened on yesterday never being repaired. That's why they're talking about the reparations, and there are a lot of people that are talking about it now. And we as black folk, we need to be concerned, and we need to be careful that we don't let and allow people to hijack what is due us, because we aren't actually concerned.
Right.
You understand? Or we're waiting for what the government or what thus says, anybody tell us what we should be concerned in. This is what we should be concerned in as black people. So, whether it be under Democratic rule, under Republican rule, we realize that it is us that we have to be concerned about our communities. It is us that we have to gather ourselves and understand what politics really are, and stand by policies that will protect our quality of life. But if we aren't educated thoroughly on what is and should be our proper quality of life, then we aren't knowledgeable of that. So I think we should be educated on what a true quality of life is and who it is meant for, and actually go get that. Start to set up policies, start to, set up programs and things of that nature that can kind of get us to some of these places rather than being, still at the back of the bus, still arguing and complaining, asking, well, hey, will you let us in? Will you choose to accept my life? My life matters. You understand? We shouldn't be saying that. It's time to start handling business. We got black billionaires. We got black millionaires. It's time to start, centralizing, putting our efforts in the same place so we can actually get some momentum and getting some stuff accomplished for us and our people.
I agree, my brother. Here's the thing, and it's kind of like a question for you also. The title of this show is Lighting a Fire Under Them. So we're talking about what can motivate you after you have lost motivation or whatever. But with so many of our people are unaware of the condition that they're in. They know that they're not doing all that well, but they have no idea as to why they are in the condition that they're in, with really not a whole lot of options on escaping that condition. So how do we get our people to collectively start seeing that we are our only resource to elevating our status and to getting free and to basically liberating ourselves from this injustice system? How do we get people who aren't even interested in all that? How do we get all of the people who are interested in nothing but smoking weed and shaking ass and the weed and twerk culture seems to be taking center stage with the majority? How do we light a fire into them?
Well, one thing you just did is that you first identified. So identity has a lot to do with the process. You understand? But knowing who we are within the identity process is equally very important. Understand? Like knowing where we came from. You understand? We can't know who we are if we don't know where we come from, right? So that is very important at gathering this sense of self-worth, right? At gathering this sense of quality of life. Because right now, our people are still living remnants of slavery, or we're still in slavery, right? So that is the reality in which a lot of our people are playing out. Is like, well, my body is only worth, demolishing. My body is only meant to be
90 seconds.
So when you're saying, how do we alleviate ourselves or go away from one culture that is promoting death to a culture that's promoting life? I think that what's going to be very important is having a historical moment, a teachable historical moment where we can show our children about Black Wall Street. We can show them the benefit of Black folk working together, taking care of themselves. Right now, they see the benefit of a brother walking around with a gun and going to rob someone. They see him coming flexing with the stacks of money. He's doing this, so they see that benefit. So we have to start not only speaking about the benefit, we have to now start to pour our resources as adults, as parents, into these types of organizations, into these types of programs. But right now, we're waiting on the white man to come do it for us, and he's never going to do it for us, nor should he, right? And if he doesn't tell you, oh, this is something you should do, we don't feel like it's necessary. So right then, we need to have education again, or we need to, refrain from being miseducated. But we see our children now are being more or less educated through entertainment, or they have been edutained, right? They've been edutained by subliminal messages, by these programs. They're cycling over and over again. So guess what? We're going to have to understand the algorithm, and then we're going to have to tap into it that way as well. So the same way they have these stations that they pour all this money into, we're going to have our, whether it be, I don't go to church, but if the church is about what they say they're about, they should start putting up their dollars into making sure these types of things, because the places we've been putting our church dollars, obviously they haven't benefited us in the collective. So what's the use in doing that if it is? So I think going back and just seeing, analyzing some of the things that we've been doing, like you just said, you took an honest evaluation to say, well, hey, you're not ostracizing or putting yourself away. You're saying, hey, when our people are doing this, our children are, so therefore you're taking responsibility. Now you're saying, well, hey, what is it that we can do? We, not them, not those bad children. So you're being responsible in your approach. If we all could do that, rather than pointing the finger, oh, those bad kids, well, the only reason they got to be a devil is from learning from the old devil. You understand? So I feel like going back in, recalibrating that and those programs, destroying a lot of those old programs that have served us nothing to current day, and start, start with some freshness. That's what I'd say.
I like it. It's
hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, our real problem is the majority of us don't know and don't care. Yeah, that's really the big problem because we keep believing that we can get somewhere. Just a small band of us, we think that we can create something for a limited amount of us that will somehow expand to the rest of them. But man, it hasn't worked out so far. And even the people who seem to, the people who hold on a second, the people who seem to be on the ball and have a good plan for us or whatever, they wind up in fighting against each other, and it just when you say that we're slaves or we're still in a slave state, to me that's so real. It's so accurate, and it hurts. I can see through what you're saying. I get it. The average person listening to you call us slaves, they think that, you're just putting us down. You're acknowledging a condition that we have been in. The mental part of the mental slavery is what we can't escape. Yeah, we're not having whips and chains and all that kind of stuff. We're not being beat like that or whatever, but people don't even realize that wasn't the biggest part of slavery anyway. The biggest part of slavery wasn't the brutality. It was the mentality. It was yeah. And we haven't been able to escape the mentality. Yeah, they've taken the ropes off of us. They've taken the chains off of us. They've allowed us to stray away from the plantations. But just like, and I hate to say this, and I know I'm going to offend some people by saying it, but it's true. Just like when you have a pet that lives in your house, a cat or a dog, as long as you keep feeding them, you ain't got to worry about them running away. You ain't got to worry about them straying too far. If anything, you have to worry more about them being hit by a car or being hurt by somebody who doesn't like pets. But you ain't got to worry about them coming back home to eat. They'll be back. They will be back. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. It really, really is. So lighting a fire under our people, the most evidence that we see of that is when a white police officer kills a black person, an unarmed black person, and that lights a fire. And that, as you can see, that fire burns out fast as fuck. So, but this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep trying because we have to. It doesn't mean that we don't keep moving because we have to. It doesn't mean that we don't keep learning because we need to. But the other thing that we have to do, even against all odds, we gotta keep on teaching. I know that they ain't listening. I'ma teach it anyway. I'ma plant this seed. I don't give a fuck how long it takes for it to rain. Yeah. I don't care how long it takes for it to rain. I don't care how long it takes for the sun to come out. I'ma plant this seed. I'ma keep on planting.
That part right there is very important, because a lot of times, especially being trained and being educated by the European, this capital capitalistic European mind and this thinking, we can think we the shit. You know, excuse me for saying, we like to think, well, we all this in the bag of chips. But we have to learn to relinquish that ego and inside evaluating who and where we are and what we're doing. Because a lot of times what I'm finding is that us as a collective, we ain't really hitting on nothing. But a lot of us think because we are driving our Camaro or we in this nice this or we made it, rather than being able to be honest in your approach, to be able to see where you're at. And then like you're saying, then you'll know, well, hey, we need to put down more seeds. We need to add more water. But now we're just waiting on somebody to plant our stuff for us. And that's why I think one of the most important things, and this was our ancestors were very, they lived by nature, right? So when we're talking about learning and knowing how to feed yourself, our people don't know how to do that. So we still are at a place of war where you're waiting on your enemy, the person that has been oppressing you for all these years, to come and feed you. And then if you study warfare, whenever you allow your oppressor, your enemy to control your food supply, that's what you're at. And that's the bigger picture when you're talking about slavery. Have we ever controlled our food supply post-slavery?
No, we have not.
No, we haven't. So we're still in damn slavery. So whenever we start having the conversations of agriculture, how we can cultivate ourselves just as we're cultivating our garden in the backyard, how we're going to show our children how to cultivate, how to take out time to invest in something that is not there. You're investing in something that's unseen. But the time that you put into it, if you stay diligent, you can see the importance, you can see the materialization of what you just said. So regardless if that seed is not growing at the time, refrain from being egotistical because it's not growing in the time that you feel like it should be growing. Just do your work and stay good, stay righteous, stay divine. You understand? I have to tell my own self these things rather than getting frustrated and being on the level of one that is sick. You understand? Make yourself the healer. Be the one that is actually planting the seeds and assisting in the further functioning of the quality of life that we need desperately.
And that's right. And don't just plant the seeds regarding agriculture. Plant the seeds regarding finance. We don't govern our own finances, our own education, our own law enforcement. All of this stuff we need to, to plant those seeds. So, while you say they took the chains off, they never really did take the chains off because, like you said, the chains were mental.
Mm-hmm.
Those have been left. Those have been left on. And my problem is, well, not my problem, but my observation is that it's not that we don't know, we do know, and we're not doing better.
Right. Hey, y'all on it today. Y'all really are. I mean, honestly, I'm motivated just by hearing the knowledge, and knowledge is definitely the teachings, I should say, is definitely something that lights a fire under me. I love, even if you're telling me something that I already know, I love hearing that somebody else knows it too. You know what I'm saying? Because that gives inspiration that, all right, somebody else is out there. You know what I mean? Feeling it. And if we can corral enough of them, then we can spread that thing out like a good virus for a change. All right, y'all, we got to do these birthday shout outs and then we're going to get out of here. But listen, I really appreciate both of y'all calling in today and lending an ear and also giving that verbal confirmation that we there is a way out there. And there are people out here who are on the job and see what needs to be done in order to basically keep this record from skipping. So I appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Thank you. Mucho.
Thank you for having me.
All right, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 13th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Courtney Showell. Happy birthday to you, Courtney. And also Kimya Parker. Happy birthday to you. And wait, hold on. How you say your name? Tatina Yeatma. Turning 29 years old today. She's a go-getter. And Minus Lamb. Happy birthday to you. And Jardina LaRue. Turning 26 years old today. And Antonia Gonzalez. Happy birthday to you. And Darcel Wynn Leonard. Happy birthday to you. And Cheryl Sharp. Turning 38 years old today. And Shakima Thomas turning 40 years old today. The big 4-0. Okay. Do the damn thing. And Crystal Brignac turning 44 years old. Bow, bow. Yeah. And my girl Michelle Daniels from Philly to NC. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, my girl, Rashina Long. Happy birthday to you, Rashina. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious June 13th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, lighting a fire under them. Yeah, we all have to go through that. There are different ways to light a fire under some people because there are different reasons that the fire needs to be lit up under them. But since we are talking about motivation and what it takes to motivate you versus what it takes to motivate somebody else out there in the world is, it all starts with one. It all starts with the need. It all starts with the desire. It all starts with some type of deficiency that needs to be shored up, that needs to be supplied. And we do have what it takes to supply it. It was such a pleasure listening to both of the callers, drop those jewels on us because, listen, man, when you don't know something, it's a lonely place because when you don't know something and you know that there's something that you need to know because you're in some type of situation, it makes it so lonely to be where you can't get any help. But there's help out there. And the same way that somebody may have had to have lit a fire up under you, you can do the same thing for somebody else. Do that shit. Do that shit. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love you all to death. Resuscitate you and love you right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for the Daily Go Get It Business Show. The Therapy with Sun show is on the weekend, so we will see you next weekend. It's going to be all good. It's going to be all love. So with that being said, Blog Talk, let me get you on up out of here. One love, baby. And for my Instagram, it's Fire Slammer Jam.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
You, y'all. And for my YouTubers, y'all know what it is. Don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to like the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet.